Hi there, everyone. Today we are going to be doing something different, something other than GIMP and Blender. This is going to be a new little series that I'm going to do. I'm going to call this series The Alternatives. And we're just going to go over a bunch of free programs. I'm going to try to keep most of the programs open source, but I am going to be showing some programs that I think are worth the look, even though that they're not open source. Just like this program here today. So Autodesk Sketchbook Pro has went free. They went free last week, I believe it was, and it is now free. You could go over to the website and download it. They do ask for an email, I believe, and to make an account, and then all you do is, because if you don't and you download it, you could use it for free for 7 days without an account. Then after the 7 days, I believe it's 7 days, then after that they want you to make an account. Or maybe that's not the issue. Maybe they changed that now and maybe they don't require you to have an account. But since I use some other Autodesk products, I already have an account. So there it is there. You could use one of those fake accounts if you'd like. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. I'm not a pro at Sketchbook. I'm going to go through and show you what some of the tools are and how to move the interface and all that kind of good stuff. We're not going to make anything pretty or anything like that. I just wanted to show you guys and let you guys know that this is now free and that it is out there. So if you like sketching or you're a concept artist or anything of that nature, Sketchbook Pro is for you. A lot of the pros in the game industry use Sketchbook Pro to make their concepts, and then, you know, later on it gets converted over to 3D and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started here. On your left hand side you got your brush palette, and you can drag it down if you'd like, and then down here you got a tool palette, and up here you got more of a tool palette. You could come up into your window and you could go ahead and toggle these on or off if you'd like. This isn't like how I like setting up my sketchbook, but I set it to back to the default so I can show you guys how to do that. A lot of the times I like to have my layers up, so I go to Windows and then click on the layer editor, and you'll see there that we got the layers, and we'll go ahead and go over that here pretty soon. You got your, I believe it's your right click here, and you come up here. This is kind of like a pie menu, kind of like how they have inside of Blender and other 3D softwares and other softwares of that nature. So they got zoom, rotate here, fit to view, actual size. They got a ruler, they got an ellipse, they got your layers, symmetry tool, and going back to the actual size. So you can come right here and you can pull up your layers also. So that's a shortcut. And we'll go ahead and leave those back up here. Now we'll go over to the brush editor. The brush editor is pretty cool. We got right here, you can pull this up, and they got brush packs. So it's kind of like Photoshop or anything of that nature. You could actually come up and go into the Sketchbook extras here from the window, and you'll see here that they have all kinds of brush packs that you could download for free. So if we just come here and we click down here, you'll see that there's a lot of them. They got free brushes for clouds, water brushes. I got quite a few of these downloaded already. I don't have them all downloaded, but I have quite a few of them downloaded. Inktober brushes, all kinds of cool stuff. So you can pull those up, and there's a bunch of brushes in here that you could download to get started out. You could also search the internet, and there's a lot of people that's made their own brushes for Sketchbook, and they give them away for free. So we could just come scroll up through here some, and we could, this window, you could go ahead, you can move this window around as you'd like. So you just come over here and you just scroll up, scroll down, and just click on anything you want. Now over here you'll see that it's got the basic brushes, but if you could come over here and you could click on this little circle that brings up another ellipse. You could create a new brush. You create a new brush set. You could delete brush set. You could pin set the palette, export a brush, import a brush, delete a brush, copy a brush. So if you want, let's say like this artist palette over here, so we'll just pin this set to the palette, and you'll see that it brung the artist set over here on the left. Or you could have this open the whole time if you'd like, but I don't like doing that. So another thing you could do is you could come over here and say you have a brush set that you really like. We come over here, we could click on this, and we could come and we could grab this brush and we could drag it over into our palette if we'd like. And you click back and you can drag it back. So that's pretty cool. So you can make your own brush sets, and then you can go ahead and save them. And we'll go ahead and close that out, and we'll click on this brush. And the next thing you can do is you can click over here, and you'll see that it's got its basics. So it's got size and your opacity. And then you can come to advanced, and you'll see you can change all kinds of different things with this. So you can change the pressure, the size with light pressure. This is for your pen. Opacity with heavy pressure. You can change all this stuff here and change how it looks. You change your spacing, roundness, the rotation of it. You can turn it off and on, scaling percentage. You can change the nib, so you could import your own image to change the nib and how the nib looks in here. This is how you would go here. You would create, a copy of the brush or a new brush, and you could come in here and create your own brushes. You could reset them, export them. You could change it from a standard pencil to a marker, smudge, glow, eraser, so on and so forth. So the brush properties is pretty cool, and there's a lot of features here for this. So we'll come back over here, down here to your little tool menu down here. So if we click right here on this little circle, you'll see that we got a full UI. We could do the title bar. We could do the lagoon, right? And we can turn the UI off and title bar only. So most of the time I leave this on the left, but sometimes I do put it over here to the right, and you'll see that it just switched over there. And you just click back over here and you can turn it back to the left. So as you see, it's on the left now. So, and then we got this same toolbar right here. If we click on the tools, the one that you come over and click, and it's your right click, and you have all that right there. Then you got your paint brushes, so you can switch to a pencil, airbrush, paintbrush, hard eraser, brush palette, ballpoint pen. Switch between two brushes, so the shortcut for that is S, and marker, and then back to your pencil, so you can change different modes there. And then we got a quick color picker, so you go red, black, gray 60%, gray 20%, white, transparent, blue, green, and red. I didn't want to change it to red. Let's go to this darker gray. Then here you got your lasso tool, clear, delete, copy, paste, cut, crop, move, rotate, and your rectangular ellipse tool. And then you got your files, so you can save, new file, next image, open, and previous image, just like that. And this is your undo and redo. I don't normally mess with this when I use Sketchbook Pro. I always just use the little shortcuts, or I come click up here or over here for my brushes. So we'll come up to the top one. So we got the zoom rotate, so you click there and it'll bring it up. Let me go ahead and exit out of that, and then we'll come here and I'll just doodle a little something here so you could tell the zoom in and rotate. And we're on the ellipse tool, which we didn't want to be on, so we'll just go ahead and get that off. We'll click back on the pencil tool, and I'll just kind of just doodle something here. And so you can click up here if you'd like to get to the zoom tool. So we click in the middle, we're zooming in, zooming out. If we click on the outside, we're moving it around, so panning. And then click down here on the bottom, and we could rotate this just like that. And then to get rid of it, you just click the X. Most of the time I just click spacebar to go ahead and zoom in and out, just like that. Now, one thing about Sketchbook Pro is it's a sketchbook software, or I'm sorry, made for a sketching software. So you'll see that if you zoom in, you can come all the way in here and you see that it gets super pixelated. I'll show you guys what I mean about that once we start moving things around, which I think will be the next thing that we do. So I'll go ahead and zoom back out here. And then you got your next tool. So you got your select. So you can click up here for rectangle select, oval select, lasso select, polyline, and then you got a magic wand tool. You got your tolerance over here. You could replace, add, remove. So it's just like your standard Photoshop tools or your standard GIMP tools in that nature. So we could come here and we could select this and we can move it around anywhere we like to place it. Then we could come back up here and we could go to the quick transform tool and we could click on move, and we can move our tool around, zoom it in, zoom it out, just like that. So we can choose the lasso here and just lasso select around here, just like that. So that area now will be scaled. I can scale it down. We can go ahead and move this guy in place here. We could go ahead and scale it from left to right. So on the, what would this be, the x-axis, we could rotate it. So we could turn this guy all the way around here. We could zoom him up just like that. When we're done, we just click the little blue X there and it's done. So that's how you would move things around. The crop is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to show the crop. So we got a transform tool here. So we could go ahead and transform this guy this way if we'd like to. We kind of scale him up. This is more like a perspective tool for this right here. We click on the lines, can move them out some. We could go ahead and zoom out here so we can see what we're doing. Kind of push them right there, and then we click done. Now we're done, and then you can go on about drawing and all that good stuff. So that's the transform tool. We got the flood fill tool. So we could fill it solid. We could do a linear fill, a radial fill. So we'll click on each one of these and do that. So we could fill. So we got a radial fill here, and you could change how big the radial circle is. You could change the gradient in, out, just like that. So you could, it's a quick way to get like a vignette and things of that nature. We could do a linear fill here. And so this one's left to right. So it's just your basic gradient. So it's pretty awesome. And you got all these special handles and stuff. It makes it pretty non-destructive. You can sample one or all layers. You turn that on. You could reverse this. So we click on reverse. You could cancel it or press OK up here. It's pretty self-explanatory. They got a text tool, so you could add a text. So we could add, I don't know, hello. And you can change to whatever font you want. Not sure. Let's see. Let's go to Bali. Press OK. And you'll see that we can scale this up here. We can rotate it. We can move it. Just like that. So it's a pretty simple tool for your text, but it's there and you can use it. The next tool is the ruler. And the ruler is pretty cool. So we could go ahead and move it and get it in line here. And then you can just color some kind of cool lines here. This is just an example. Like I said, we're not going to do anything pretty. Just moving things around and showing you guys here. So if you can see, I couldn't draw on that text layer. I had to go to a new blank layer for it to allow me to draw. So that's cool. And then you can just click the X when you're done. And then we got the ellipse. So we could draw cool circles here. We could move the ellipse, move it up, and say out a little bit. And we could draw another cool ellipse here. Rotate it. Something like that. Let's get some cool drawings out of it. So that's pretty much for the ruler tools here. Then you just click on the X to get off of that, and you got some pretty cool things. I'm going to press delete to delete that. And I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what's next. The French curve tool. So you can draw some cool curves here, rotate it, turn it up. You can click through these, and they got some different ones here. You flip them, draw some cool things here. So you can, these would help more for like cell shading or something of that nature. To be honest, I'm not too sure what folks use these for, but it's there. So we'll go ahead and click off there. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this layer off. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and delete this layer. So to delete a layer, you just click right here, and you go up to the red X. I did that pretty fast, but we'll get to layers here again here pretty soon. Well, we'll go ahead and do it now. So you got the delete layer, the add new layer, duplicate layer, hide and show your layer, lock your layer, merge below, merge all, rename layer. So you got all your tools right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete that layer. Let's see, what's the next tool? So we got more of a perspective guides tool. You got a 2-point mode, and we can move this. Oops. So you just make different perspectives on things. It's just a guide. They got a circular one. Zoom it in and out. Pretty nice. You could do the snapping. You could lock. You could hide it. And the next thing we're going to go to is we're going to turn off the perspective guides, and we got symmetry here. Let me go ahead and delete this layer so I can show you the symmetry. Symmetry is pretty cool. So you can come here and you do all kinds of things, whatever you'd like to do here. You could make your little cat guy or something like that. But symmetry works just how you would expect symmetry to work. So we could zoom in here. If we click on symmetry, we get this. So we got symmetry Y right here. So it's up and down. And then you got symmetry X. So you could have them turned on. So you could do 4 corners. So we could, I don't know, do something weird like that. So we could just click over here and turn it off, and now we just have symmetry on the x-axis. So everything's pretty standard here. You got your X and Y. Just be careful if you're wanting it on both sides to make sure that you have your Y axes enabled too, so you'll be drawing on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and Control Z all this stuff, and we'll go ahead and we'll go turn this symmetry off here. I'll come over here and create a new layer. Let's go ahead and turn this one off, and we'll go to the radial symmetry. So we can change the radial symmetry from 6 sections to 10 sections, 12. It goes all the way up to 16, and it's pretty cool. You could do some pretty awesome, interesting things with the symmetry tool. You can make some pretty cool stuff with this. You go ahead and turn that back down to say 7 sides. You could come over here and switch your color, which I haven't talked about yet, and I will talk about that here pretty soon. You could move your center point. You could rotate these. You could just come through here and just go in circles and make some super awesome things. You could extend or stop the strokes at the center line. You could lock the symmetry lines. You could show and hide them. It's pretty self-explanatory for the symmetry tool. We'll go ahead and we'll move on here. You got a steady stroke, so we could turn on steady stroke and turn off symmetry here and click back on it, and you got it's at a distance of 40 right here. So you'll see how I get a little red trailing line behind my brush. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that in the video or not, but it's there. So the higher you turn it up, the further the distance is from the brush, and it just helps you draw better circles and lines and things of that nature. And this green's a little too much for my taste, so I'll come back over here and switch to some kind of dark gray. So it's just to help you draw nice and pretty lines. Like I said there, you could raise or lower the distance to however you'd like. Let's delete. Let's turn off steady stroke. And now we got predictive stroke here. So we got a level of 2 here. So I'll draw a stroke, and as you can tell, it's predicting how the stroke I want it. I'm going to go ahead and Control Z these. Let's go ahead and turn this all the way up to 5, and let's see. And it's just straightening that stroke out for me. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and turn that off, and let's Control Z all this stuff. The next thing is draw style. So you got line, rectangle, oval, and polyline. So if we do a polyline, click here, click here, click here, click here. And we press enter, it'll draw out your line for you. It's the same for the circular select. We got our rectangle, and then just drawing with the line. We're gonna go ahead and turn that off. You can pull up your layers here, your brush palette, color editor, and they got a Copic library here, which is pretty cool. We'll go ahead and not play with that stuff right there. You guys can check all that stuff out. Now we got our color picker here. So this is for color, and then this one, if you move it left to right, that's your size. And then if you come up or down, that's your opacity. So this is your brush size and opacity over here, and over here is your brush color. You can move these and place these anywhere as you'd like. So we just click on that and just go to some weird color over here and just draw out something. Now if you just hold down Alt, you can choose a color here. All right, so let's go to layers over here. Let's turn this back on. So we got normal layer modes: darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn, lighten, all this good stuff that you guys see in like GIMP or Photoshop. And put it on multiply. So it's a pretty similar scheme for layers, and so it's pretty much the same as in GIMP or as in Photoshop. As you'd think, you could lock the layer, and then we could go ahead and fill in the lines. So it's locking all the pixels except for the pixels in the layer itself. So we can come in here, we can change the line colors, and then that way it'll look better in a somewhat darker gray. But we'll just go ahead and we'll stick to white. And so you can come back over here and we can change it. We can go to red, unlock it. We'll be able to color on the layer again. Control Z. You could add a new layer from here, or you could do it from here. You could add your groups. You could add an image. So you click on here and it'll take you to add an image. You could delete your layer. You click here, new layer, add layer. So you can do all the same things as you can do from here or from there. You can lower your opacity of the layer here. It's all pretty basic stuff. And let's see. So we could go to file, and you got all your saves and all that good stuff. You got a stylus responsiveness. You could do more, less. And then you got your preferences here. So your default save format you can change from a TIFF to a PSD. I normally like saving to PSDs, Photoshop files. GIMP will open Photoshop files. There's quite a few other softwares that will open up Photoshop files. You can change your brush. You could do a display crosshair. Do not display crosshair. Best for your hardware. All these are pretty basic, and I don't really change any of this stuff when I use. Let's see, use width and height. So we got 1024, 100 resolution. So associated file formats, TIFF, PNG. And then we got our hotkeys here, and it shows you the hotkeys. And you can click on one, and you should be able to change the accelerator or the hotkey itself. So you just double click on it, add what you want in there. Let's go to the lagoon. We could change this, and we could add what we want to this select menu here. So we could change what we want in there, and also for the lagoon. And then you come back here and you can reset everything to their factory defaults. And just press OK there. We got image, so we could change the image size here if we'd like. We could do the canvas size, same difference. We could do a crop, adjust, rotate, mirror, flip layer, symmetry, radial symmetry, all that stuff. Here's where all your windows are, so you could turn on and turn off, or go back to the default layout if you'd like. Here's your account things. Do a quick tour, manage your account, and then help, check for updates, and all that good stuff. And that's pretty much it. And that's all I pretty much wanted to show you guys, that Sketchbook Pro is a super, super, super awesome program. I've used it a lot before in the past. And then, you know what I mean, they used to charge, I forget what it was, like $5 or $10 a month for it, but it is now free, and it's an awesome, awesome software for people that love to draw or love to sketch, or you're just looking for something new out there. And it's very responsive with your pen tablets and things of that nature. And even if you don't have one, it's pretty darn good even with a mouse. Now make sure, if you want to save your layers and all that stuff, you save these files out as a PSD. That way you'll get your layers back. And I think that is pretty much it for this. Please let me know if you could like this alternatives episodes and you guys want to see more. I'm not going to just go into art programs. I'm going to do, you know, drawing, sketching. We're even going to dive into some game applications and things of that nature. I got a lot of plans for this, and I hope you guys enjoy this series. If you look in the description below, I have a Patreon now. If you want to support me and help with the videos getting better and all that things, please head over there and check it out. But besides that, please like and subscribe for tons more tutorials, and have a great day. Thank you.